It should have been a calming moment for the fans, but quite the opposite. BTS's Jungkook has finally been discharged from a hospital in New York after undergoing intensive care due to suspected food poisoning. However, what made the public excited was a video circulating showing Jungkook sitting in a wheelchair as he headed for the plane that would take him back to South Korea. Is Jungkook really recovered? Or is something being hidden from the public? Footage taken by several media outlets at the airport showed Jungkook in a weakened state, dressed in casual clothes, with a face that looked paler than usual. By pushing his own wheelchair, and the question arises, then where are the medical staff or Hybe's family and staff, and whether Jungkook has really recovered or Jungkook was forcibly discharged from the hospital because of something we don't know the truth about. This, of course, raises more questions than answers. Earlier, HYB released a brief statement stating that Jungkook's condition had stabilized and he was allowed to return to Korea to continue his recovery. However, why was he still in a condition that looked so weak? If he's doing so well, why is he still in a wheelchair? It didn't take long for speculation to surface on social media. ARMY, as BTS fans are called, began to question whether Jungkook's condition was actually worse than reported. Some fans even suspect that something is being covered up, especially considering how HYB is often very careful about providing information about the health of her artists. Several theories began to develop, one of which was the possibility that Jungkook was still experiencing side effects from the food poisoning he experienced. There are allegations that the poison that entered his body was not an ordinary poison, but something more dangerous and requiring long-term treatment. In fact, some speculate that this was not just an ordinary case of food poisoning, but a deliberate attack. The case drew further attention when reports emerged that Jungkook's medical team in New York were conducting a series of tests to ascertain what substances had actually entered his body. The results have not yet been officially announced, but some sources claim that there are indications that this is not just an ordinary poisoning. Even more surprising, other reports say that HYB and the hospital had a long discussion before finally deciding to bring Jungkook back to Korea. This further reinforces the suspicion that there is something they do not want to reveal to the public. Meanwhile, in South Korea, preparations for Jungkook's welcome were also in the spotlight. Security at Incheon Airport will be tightened to ensure there are no disruptions during his return. Some fans even expressed concern that Jungkook might not appear in public and was immediately taken to a more private place to continue his treatment. However, one thing that remains the biggest mystery is how this incident could have happened in the first place. If it's true that someone deliberately poisoned Jungkook, why hasn't a suspect been announced yet? The South Korean military, where Jungkook is serving, has yet to give an official statement on the alleged involvement of a senior soldier in the case. Earlier, reports from various sources said that Jungkook experienced severe symptoms of poisoning, including severe vomiting, extreme abdominal pain, and severe dehydration. It is speculated that he lost consciousness before being rushed to a New York hospital. If this is so, then the case is clearly more serious than it is reported. With all the mystery still surrounding this incident, the biggest question remains unanswered. Has Jungkook really recovered? Or is this just HYB's way of calming the public while the real situation is much more serious? For now, all fans can do is wait and hope that Jungkook is completely safe. But one thing is for sure, this case is not over. If there really is an element of intent in this poisoning, then the public has the right to know who the perpetrators behind it and what their motives are. And now, the world awaits not just the latest news about Jungkook's health, but also the truth behind what really happened. The mystery behind Jungkook's return from New York is increasingly raising big question marks. If he had completely recovered, why did his condition look so weak? Why hasn't HYB given a detailed clarification regarding the cause of Jungkook's poisoning? Is there pressure from certain parties to keep this incident a secret? On social media, fans continued to debate the possibility that this incident was not just an accident. Some soldiers even suspect that the poison found in Jungkook's body may not have come from food he accidentally consumed, but from someone who deliberately wanted to harm him. If so, who has the motive to do this to a world-class idol like Jungkook? The case became even more tense when an anonymous source from the South Korean military environment gave a shocking statement. It reveals that there are indications Jungkook may have been the target of someone inside the training barracks. Furthermore, he mentioned that some senior soldiers may not like the presence of celebrities in the military environment because they are considered to get preferential treatment. In the military, there are many unwritten rules. Not all senior soldiers are happy to see a celebrity among them. Sometimes, that dislike can lead to extreme actions, the source said. If there is indeed an element of sabotage in this incident, then this case could become one of the biggest scandals in the history of South Korean conscription. The military itself seems to be very careful in dealing with this issue. Until now, they have not given an official statement regarding the alleged involvement of a senior soldier in these events. However, what was even more shocking was the report that BTS's Suga, along with several investigation colleagues, had come to the hospital to take samples of the poison found in Jungkook's body. This further reinforces the allegation that HYB did not want the case to simply evaporate. Suga, who is known to be very protective of the other BTS members, was seen entering the hospital with a serious face. A witness at the scene said Suga appeared very focused on gathering information from the medical team. I saw Suga with some other people who appeared to be from the investigation team. They spoke to the doctor and seemed to ask for access to the results of the examination of the poison found in Jungkook's body, the witness said. Does this mean that HYB is conducting an independent investigation to uncover the truth behind this incident? If there really was a party responsible for this poisoning, would they be arrested immediately? What made the public more suspicious was HYB's attitude that seemed to be trying to control the flow of information related to Jungkook's condition. The statement they issued earlier was too general and did not provide enough detail to ease fans' concerns. Jungkook has been discharged from hospital after his condition stabilized and will continue his recovery in South Korea. We ask fans not to speculate too much, HYB's statement read. However, this statement only further aroused suspicion. If his condition is really stable, why does Jungkook still look so weak when heading for the plane? If there really is nothing to worry about, why is the security so tight and HYB seems to avoid questions from the media? On the other hand, Jungkook's return to South Korea was also met with extra tight security. Incheon Airport has reportedly set up a special line to ensure that Jungkook does not have to pass through crowds of fans or reporters. This further reinforces speculation that Jungkook's condition may be worse than initially reported. If it's true that he only had regular food poisoning, why are there so many safety protocols in place? To date, this case is still filled with mystery. There is no clarity regarding the results of the medical team's investigation, no official statement from the military, and HYB seems to be very cautious in providing information. However, one thing is certain, the public will not stand still. BTS fans around the world are demanding clarity and transparency over what really happened to Jungkook. For now, the world can only wait and hope that the truth will finally be revealed. Is Jungkook really recovered? Or is there something bigger going on behind the scenes?